In September 2012, there was a Google-wide announcement for our Bay Area colleagues that the Wi-Fi password on the fleet of buses that connects Google's campuses around San Francisco will change. So since everybody wanted to be online, the internet is connected, everybody wanted to check what the new password is. And Google has a system for storing passwords, a centralized password management service. This was created 5 years prior to the date I mentioned, and it was meant to be used by a small amount of system administrators to share secrets for third-party services that didn't support better authentication and authorization. As you might imagine, a few thousand employees are more than a handful, so the system went down. Google cares about reliability, so we had a secondary replica of our password management service where our load shedding strategies have diverted all the traffic. However, this was just replicated traffic, so the secondary replica failed in the same way the first one did. At that point, an on-call engineer was paged. This on-call engineer was based on the East Coast of the US, and it was a big surprise for them that this incident is happening since our password manager service did not have any outage in its prior 5 years of existence. However, we're prepared. We had a list of steps to take in order to restart the service, and the on-call engineer followed them. Nothing worked. It seemed that in order to restart the service, a particular card needed to be inserted in a hardware security module. None of these cards were located on the East Coast of the US, where the on-call engineer was based. So they followed the procedures, they looked up the contact, and they reached out to a colleague in Australia. The colleague in Australia kept calm, went to the safe where the card was located, and then looked up the code to the safe. Where do you think the code of the safe was stored? I guess you might have already guessed, in the password management system that was now offline that we were trying to bring back up. So what to do then? There was a second copy, another card in a safe on the west coast of the US. And thankfully, there was an engineer who had memorized the code of the safe. So they were able to retrieve the card. Card in place, inserted in the HSM. Many green lights blinking, but the system would still not come up. It took the engineers around an additional hour of debugging to figure out that the green lights did not mean that the card was properly inserted in the HSM, but that it had to be flipped around. Once that happened, the service was successfully restored, and everybody could access the Wi-Fi password after a few minor changes to the service and go online, and happy ending.